Hello everyone, and again I am Justin Pontarelli, and I'm back and we're going to be doing some more Interstellar Pilot. This time the goal is to basically show you guys a battle between a smaller vessel and a Magnus. Okay, if you're an experienced player at this game, then you realize and understand that the Magnus is basically supposed to be this game's most expensive ship, and probably its best ship. In terms of raw firepower, definitely is the best. But the goal of this video is to show you that it's not perfect, and it does have at least one glaring weakness, which in my opinion means it's not the best. Okay, so let's get started. In order to demonstrate this weakness, we're going to go ahead and try to battle one. I wanted to try to find a battle where I can just fight a Magnus by itself. This one does have a ship nearby with it, but so far this is the cleanest mission I can find. So obviously here we are on a job board of the orbital farm of the Omen Corporation in a sector whose name I can't pronounce. So let's just get to it. Accept that mission. Let's get back to our vessel, shall we? And before we get going, let's just give you a quick tour of the area. This whole sector is a mining sector. You can tell by the asteroids here, okay, which they're all over the place. And initially, there was a crooked, or villainous, mining corporation. I came in with my vessel here, and I kicked them out. I had my turrets. I had some turrets built up. I'll show you that right now. So here we go. Turrets. So here we are. I have my 3 level 5 laser turrets and my repair shop, which I call the scrapyard. Okay, there we go. Repair shop, which initially was going to be used to store scrap, regardless of what it was, weapons, spare parts, whatever. Now it's basically like a weapons cache, holding my missiles and my ECM. And as you can tell, I kind of use like a 3-to-1 ratio of ECM, or I should say missiles to ECM. Speaking of weapons, let me show you what I have on my ship here. Alright, and we've got up here our level 2 ECM. Right here, a battery of 4 level 2 laser turrets, all of which are forward facing. You can tell by these little arcs, those little circles. They indicate that they're all forward facing laser turrets, which at first might seem to be a horrible weakness because everything points to the front, but thankfully this missile turret is a rear facing turret, so that covers my rear. And at the same time, you can actually use a missile turret facing any direction to fire at anything anywhere, which is nice. So there you go. And this is not your standard small launcher. This is actually the military launcher, and I have it equipped currently with 30 interceptor missiles, which are the biggest and the baddest. Now here's a mine launcher, or mine layer, but I never use it, so I'm not sure why I kept it, but it's just kind of there. And of course in the corner is your standard cloaking device. Okay. Now, I guess that's it. Let's get going. If I can find the exit. Okay, where's that? It's over right there. Okay, yeah, of course. Alright, silly me. Okay, here we go. Let me just show you the map I'm working with here. This is a tiny universe in sandbox mode, basically. It's a custom universe. Whenever you have a custom universe set up, the computer basically puts stuff where it thinks it should be. It always gives you one ice asteroid sector, one regular asteroid sector, and one planet sector. Okay. And I think this will probably be a quick video, because it's just going to be the battle, hopefully. But at the same time, I think I do want to talk about, just briefly, you know, selecting a flagship for your fleet. You know, that is once you have a fleet. And obviously this video is not going to be aimed at professional seasoned players that already know what they're doing. But this will be aimed at people who are new to the game, who are still experimenting with the game, and who want some tips from a more seasoned player. Okay. Now, I already have the expansion packs, both the Capital Ships pack and the Thunder pack. So, obviously, when we're talking about capital ships, if you know the lingo, a capital ship is basically any large vessel, okay? Typically the biggest and the baddest in the bunch. And it's usually accompanied by other smaller vessels, okay? So when you're going to select a flagship, you're probably going to want a ship from a shipyard. That's where all the big boys hang out. Now, obviously, without the expansion packs, the Orion is probably going to be your pick. Okay? It definitely has more firepower and more capacity for shielding than a normal vessel does. And that's not where I wanted these ships to be hanging out. This is actually take 2 of this particular video. And we're going to try doing this again, though, hopefully without messing up. Okay. Last time what happened was I ended up dragging the 2 ships back to friendly territory, and then they got molested and destroyed. Anyway, let's go ahead and set up our retreat point, or a place to fall back to get rearmed. Let's click on that, outpost there, toggle waypoint, and there you go, okay? In case you're new to the game and really don't know how to do that, let's do it the slower way. Go here in the corner, click on scanner. Let's click on the little icon for the shipyard areas and whatnot, the bases. And you're going to go ahead and find a military outpost. Click on it from the list. Go back here in the corner, click on target, click on toggle waypoint. And there you go. And now you have an arrow with the pink star. Okay, and that's going to be your little arrow to retreat back to when things get dicey, or when you're ready to reload stuff. Now, last time I made the mistake last time of retreating basically right back to friendly territory, and both the Magnus and the Ares class ship followed me, and they ended up getting destroyed. I helped destroy the Ares, and then when I went back to reload and rearm and repair, started to come back the other way, and the Magnus was also already dead. So that was no good. So I'm going to try to approach from this side this time. Hopefully that'll be a lot better. And hopefully that will allow me to isolate the Ares without getting the other ship killed. Let's check out the sector map real quick. Okay, so we're really far away from the nearby base. That's a good thing. Okay. So what I'm gonna try this time is when I retreat, because again the objective is to isolate the Magnus and get him on his own and fight him and show you why you can actually take on a Magnus with a smaller ship and basically demonstrate the Magnus is one glaring weakness. Which means I want the ships to come this way, or maybe this way, and destroy the Ares class vessel, go back, repair, reload, and then come back again and isolate the Magnus and destroy him too. Okay? That's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. Okay. Bring up your scanner for ships, and let's start getting closer to that. There, oh, there's the one. That's good. Okay. Let's see who's let's see where they are on the map here. Okay. We will try leading them off and away from their from each other. Okay. Well, they're both following me. That's good. Okay. First things first, let's try to lead the Ares class away from his friend. I'll be using my standard slow retreat method, where I slowly retreat away from my target and hopefully just blast him with missiles until he's dead. Again, if you get shot at with missiles, listen for the beeps. When they get a little faster, that's when you want to go at him with the, or drop your ECM. Notice how so far none of his missiles are landing, and I just destroyed the, yeah. So far so good. This actually was working out real well. We're hoping the Magnus will stop moving. Perfect, it has. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted. Although now we're really close. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We are using the D recorder. Okay. Let me pause it for a quick second and explain what I'll do. This video will be really way too long if I, in my opinion, if I have to, manually run around him and then... Anyway, so what I'll do, so I'm going to pause the video, pick up recording in a few minutes, and also have breakfast. And then I'll be back and it'll be like no time has passed. Alright, let's pause this. Alright, it looks like we are back. And I just got done eating breakfast, which happened to be a lovely burger from Five Guys. So if I start to hack and cough a bit, you'll know why. But in my opinion, it's always well worth it. So, I'll just have to keep my water nearby. That'll help that out, right? And as promised, I have managed to restock my vessel with missiles, ECM. I've made some repairs. And here's our lovely target right there in front of us. And as you can tell from his little icon, he's in perfect shape. There is a enemy base in the background, but they should be too far away. So they're not going to interfere and launch any ships to attack me. If they do, well, I'll just have to make this into a longer video. Okay. And we did, of course, as you noticed, we managed to defeat the Ares-class vessel. And although I can't find the scrap anymore from the destroyed vessel, that's okay. So, we are cloaked. So, let's unpause it real quick. And let's go ahead and scan this guy real quick and see what we're up against. Now, so we have 2 interceptor missiles. Okay. I'm not too concerned about the rockets or the Achilles missile. Okay. Actually, I'm not really concerned about any of these. Technically, I think the small rockets will actually be our greatest threat. Because I think they're like a non-guided rocket. Which means I don't think the ECMs work against them at all. So they will be able to do some damage to me. Alright. But check out what they don't have in the cargo list. There is no ECM. Period. Okay, let's go to the hangar. Sorry, the components. Now, we're mainly going to be attacking him from the front, so it looks like we have a fairly easy job right now. Here's your front turrets. And here's a main turret. Main turrets usually point to the front as well. So, realistically, the only thing I'm really worried about is the front plasma turret. Nothing else. So, right off the bat, what's the weakness here? There's no ECM. And I'm on a ship that can fire from 500k distance, or I'm sorry, 500 distance, which is, of course, here. Okay? And I can beat him to death with missiles, and he won't be able to do anything about it, basically. So let's go ahead and uncloak, and I'm going to light him up. And if he does start to touch me, I'm going to start to rotate my ship around, but you're going to see how this strategy will work. Okay, so he's aware of me, but he's not moving to intercept, which is good. But even if he does move to intercept you, you can still do this. It'll still work. It's generally the same strategy. Let's just kind of slowly creep up on him. Okay. You don't gotta be too close. We're gonna fire off some missiles at him. If he shoots us, not a big deal. We slowly turn around. Hopefully his rockets are not first. But he will strike some hits, probably. But nothing too concerning. Almost there. Take it nice and slow. Alright, I'm going to double check that base in the background real quick. Yeah, we're too far away. They're not going to launch their fighters. And there we go, perfect. Listen to the beeps. So he's got the same missiles I do, but notice his are not going to hit. Okay, he got pushed back a bit by the explosion. So we got to sneak back up there a couple inches here. A couple more inches. There we go. There's his second missile. Faster beeps. Launch it. There you go. Piece of cake. You guys gotta be thinking, this is almost too easy. Alright, now he might be, nope, I guess not. That's what I was afraid of right there. Those are gonna hurt. Okay. Not too bad though. Not too bad. And that's it. He's done. And we've got 26,000 more in the kitty. Yeah, so at this point, if we wanted to go salvaging, we could. We could fly up there probably and take those. But I imagine that these guys would launch their ships. And even if I was actually going to save this game, I would not be interested in this scrap. It's not worth the trouble. And that's about it. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get back to a place to reload and repair. We'll go ahead and cloak. And we'll go back to the thing here while I go take a drink of water. So you might be asking, what would happen if he actually flew at you? Well, typically they do. But the strategy remains the same, except for the fact that once they start to chase after you, you can just turn around, fly away slowly, keeping relatively the same speed they keep, and as you go, just launch your missiles at them. Okay, remember this is a rear-facing missile turret, okay, with a range of 500. So as long as he's within range, your missiles will hit, unless he shoots them down. Okay, but if he's shooting them down, then he can't be using his weaponry to shoot you. So either way, it's a win-win situation. Okay, he either tries to shoot you, or he tries to shoot your missiles. And again, if you're packing 10 ECM, as you noticed, he never landed a single missile, except for those rockets. And the rockets were not able to penetrate my shielding. Okay? So what does that mean for us? It means an easy win. Okay? That's what it means. Now, I'm going to show you one quick trick before we wrap up. So, let's see here. First, let's just go ahead and repair real quick. Nothing to repair, that's good. Okay. Even if you're not damaged, you can always just go and recharge your shielding. Okay? And you can find that option under the repair menu as well, where it says shield recharge. Okay. It's just a fast way to recharge your shields. That's always nice. Let's fill up on missiles. Okay. Let's undock. Let's cloak. Quick pointer, guys. Let's say you just have a single ship, and you already have your first station built. Let's say your ship is out in the middle of nowhere, but you want to go ahead and check things out in other places real quick. Piece of cake, watch this. Go to log, go to property. Let's get rid of the turrets real quick. Okay. Click on your station, click on enter. And you have just teleported to your station. Yeah, now I know your ship is not there. That's okay. That's not the point. The point is that you can request taxi. Okay. Go to any place in the universe you want for free. They're not going to charge you for it. Okay. So you're really not taking a real taxi. You're just teleporting is what you're doing. Okay. Let's say I want to check out jobs in the trade station. Request taxi again. Job board. Okay, if you want to pick one of these jobs, you can. Let's go again and request taxi to another area. Let's go to the military outpost. Job board. Oh, look at that. They want a ranger. Okay. You want to make a cool 3K? There you go. Deliver a ranger. I know there's a job around here somewhere where you could deliver a Magnus. I might actually go back and pick up that money later in the game. But anyway, you get the point. You can bebop around. And look, let's say I want to pick up another 24,000. We could go there and pick on those guys. Pick up a cool 24K. All right. So, but what I wanted to do, so I wanted to talk about flagships. So let's go to request taxi and let's go to the Sabre shipyard. All right. Let's go to buy ship. As I pointed out, I'm pretty close to being able to buy a Magnus, and I have bought them before, okay? Now, in my opinion, if you're going to buy a Magnus, you're probably going to want the Magnus X, because at least it can cloak, okay? Now, you might be asking yourself, what difference does that make? Well, the Magnus by itself can take a lot of damage, okay? So there you go, the cloaking device option is right down at the bottom. Okay, it comes installed with a regular cloak. Okay, I don't know if you can upgrade that to a better cloaking device, but it can cloak. Now, I can tell you from experience that the Magnus A is not capable of cloaking, and you cannot give it a cloaking device. I believe the same thing with the Magnus EQ, although I could be mistaken. Now, what's the difference between all these ships? Well, the Magnus A is your standard Magnus, okay? So basically your standard battleship. All right. The Magnus EQ, basically like the description says, is, oops, hold on, sorry. It's a mobile equipment dealer with reduced weaponry. In other words, you'll see these guys flying around on their own, and they basically act as mobile military bases. You can dock at them and buy weapons. Although I don't think you can actually get repaired at them, so that's a downside, but that's okay. So, if you did want a nice place for your fleet to hang out, have some fighters docked with you, get them equipped at your own vessel, that's how you do it. But as we just noticed, despite the price tag that the Magnus carries of a little over 1 million credits, okay, the thing does not, it's not the best investment for your money, okay? In terms of an all-around solid fighting vessel, it does have its weaknesses, okay? It really does, okay? And I think if this game did have a multiplayer capacity, you would probably quickly find that the Magnus would be reduced to basically like a giant paperweight, with people toting around ships that carry military launchers, interceptor missiles, and the Magnus would become a joke. Okay? Not even kidding. Alright? Now, take this into consideration, for example. I can tell you from experience that a fully upgraded Magnus, you know, customized with heavy weapons, okay, more than capable of taking on an enemy pirate base by itself, and even defeating its the ships that it launches. A fully upgraded thing will cost about 3 million credits, okay, approximately. That's more money than a trade station, okay? For the money you're dishing out, you should get a trade station instead. At least the trade station makes you money, okay? Although, yeah, you can go around and have the Magnus work itself and pay you back, basically, okay? Because the Magnus has a good cargo capacity as well, and obviously you can go around fighting with it and earn money that way, okay? But a trade station is a lot less work, and I mean a lot less work. It just sits there, ships come up to you, give you stuff, you pay for it, and then you sell it off at a higher price, okay? You'll make money that way, trust me. Now, so again, you can buy a Magnus, upgrade it, and eventually you'll have a machine that costs you about 3 million credits. And it will look dangerous. It'll be dangerous. But just imagine. Maybe even 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys come up to it, you know, loaded the same way mine was, okay? They launch a few volleys of interceptor missiles at you, your shields go down, and you're dead. Now, remember what I said, 3 million credits to upgrade one of these things to max capacity. Max shields, engines, everything, okay? Even improving their weapons. An Orion X, when it's decked out, even if it's not decked out with 5 military launchers, okay, which you can do, you can take an Orion X, equip it only with missile launchers, with military-grade missile launchers, and it could tear through a Magnus in seconds. Been there, done it, it's funny to watch. Okay, it's astounding. Yeah, oh yeah. But the point is this. Even if you don't do it that way, even if you just have a modestly equipped Orion with a single military launcher, you know, maybe 25 to 30 missiles, okay? And as you notice, it didn't even take that many missiles to do it. I think it was like, what, 10, maybe? For the same 3 million credits, you could build a small fleet of basically anything else. And that fleet would obliterate your Magnus and laugh as it did so, okay? So let's just go real quick and request a taxi to a military station and show you the other options. And again, I'm showing you guys this because this is aimed at people who are not yet seasoned professionals and just want to get a feel for the game and maybe watch a fun video on YouTube. So, again, there's cheaper stuff out there. Flyer X's are pretty good. Okay. Hornets, I love Hornets. Okay, these guys can cloak, the Hornet X. And they're ridiculously fast, especially when you upgrade their engines. Okay. I think they almost go about, I want to say, 60 in terms of their speed. Okay. The Magnus, for example, only goes about 20 to 25. So that thing's a slug in comparison. So, let's say you have a bunch of Hornets that engage a Magnus. Heaven forbid you start to lose. Guess what? You can simply pull out of their retreat and you'll be gone before the Magnus has a chance to even catch up. On the other hand, if you had a fleet of Hornets that cost about 3 million to make, trust me, you have a lot of Hornets. I'm going to say around 12 of them, possibly, or more, versus a single Magnus. Guess who's going to win? Absolutely, you got it. The Hornets will win. So, the ultimate question becomes, what do I recommend for a flagship? Well, like I said, if you don't have any of the expansion packs, you're only going to have access to the frigate, or sorry, the Orion. Okay? Check out the, check out what it says here, right? I got the thing unlocked, right? It's unlocked. So that's its own pack. That's the Thunder pack. And then you have the all these other ones. The Crayon Freighters, the Ares Destroyer. Okay, and you'll notice that each of them have a cloaking variant that can cloak. The Overlord Cruiser, the Overlord X, then the Magnus, okay, including the cloaking variant. So, ultimately, if you want a flagship and you don't have the expansion pack, obviously go with the Orion, okay? I mean, it's got decent speed, it's got good shielding, excellent weapons capacity, and it can carry the military-grade launcher, which can give you a nice range for missiles. So let's say you want to go up to an enemy base and beat it to death, you can. Okay, you can do it. At least that way you can get to the turrets. Like level 3 turrets, for example, don't stand a chance. You just lob, I think, 3 missiles at them, and they're dead. That's it. It's game over. With the level 5 turrets, it's, I think, 5 to 6 interceptor missiles, and they die. But you will take some damage on your shields. But if you simply rotate your ship around, you'll be fine. You'll still live. Okay. And if you have like a fleet nearby helping you, the fleet can take care of any fighters that the base will launch. Okay. In terms of taking out enemy bases, or sorry, friendly bases, if you like plan on defeating them and getting them out of the picture, just set up a couple of your own turrets first in your own base, like a repair base or a military base, preferably, and you'll do just fine. Because you can always lure enemy vessels back to your base. They'll try to follow you, and then your turrets will tear them to shreds. Okay? No problem there. But anyway, here's my opinion on the extra expansion packs that you can get. The capital ships pack. Okay, all these guys down here. And guys, I do recommend that pack at the very bare minimum, because if you want to try owning a refinery and/or a trade station, you need the expansion pack. Because even though you have access to purchase the material, you cannot transport it. Which means, although it's technically available for purchase, you can't actually get it off the station, because you need, at the very bare minimum, a crayon freighter, okay? And it's going to be these guys right here. You need at least one of these guys to transport it, okay? So I think it's like a cargo capacity of 100, and these guys can carry it, okay? So yeah, you need these guys, and they come with the capital ships pack. The Thunder is okay. Don't get me wrong; it is fast. It is definitely faster than the Orion, okay? But the weapons configuration, it's not what I prefer. I like to have my guns mostly facing the front, okay? I like to face my opponents. When I'm running, as I found out from personal experience, a single rear-facing turret for missiles is all I need, okay? You can pick off ships that way too that chase you. Yeah, so... But if you like the frigate or you want to give it a chance, definitely get the pack. It's worth it. It's fine. Now, in terms of an actual flagship, other than the Orion, here's my top pick. Other than the Orion, the Overlord. Okay, I would say either get an Overlord X or an Overlord A. Probably an X because it can cloak. Let's check it out. Info. The Overlord is the cruiser class of the TEF. The vessel possesses greater effectiveness at long range due to an additional missile bay. With fast shielding and armor, it is single-handedly capable of repelling a small navy. Now, since this is the Type X, you have lost a rear turret in order to have stealth capacity. Okay, check out its stats. Yeah, well, okay. We can find out nice things like its maximum speed, which isn't that great. It's only like about 20. You can probably upgrade that and go a little bit faster, maybe. Cargo space is 100, so you can actually fit a trade station on this thing. Okay. Let's check out its bays. Got some good equipment available. You got a front left turret, front right. Look at all this stuff here. Good turrets, man. Good turrets. In fact, let's buy one, huh? Let's go to, oops, we need to get somewhere else to get equipment. Alright. Let's go to a military station and let's call this a day. But yeah, so here's my pick for a flagship. Okay. And in my opinion, here's the important thing. Okay? Because when a bunch of small ships are swarming you, and they can all launch missiles, the Magnus will get toasted. This thing, however, has protection. And its armament and armor and shielding is comparable to that of a Magnus. Okay? So in my opinion, this thing could trash a Magnus very easily, and at the same time, it could defend itself from a swarm, and if it had to, it can cloak and get away. Although not very quickly, though. So always be careful when you cloak, guys, because you cloak at the wrong time and you're dead. That's all there is to it. Anyway, let's see what they got for guns on this thing. Show compatible only. And you can obviously get the military launcher on it. And you can actually get the laser 5 on it. So... and it does give you a rear turret. So... I would probably keep the military launcher. And I'd probably take the rear turret and put this bad boy on there. Why? Because of its range. It's got really, really good range. In fact, longer range than the military launcher actually has. Okay. And there you go. So, but yeah, speaking of, you know, military launchers versus laser 5s. Yes, you might be arguing the Magnus has a weakness, but it can be equipped with level 5 laser turrets that have superior range over the military launcher. Well, like I said, it's not about the range, it's about the cost effectiveness. For 3 million plus credits, I can have an army versus your one ship. Now, I might lose a couple ships when I fight your Magnus with its lovely array of level 5 lasers. But as soon as those missiles start flying, you're dead. That's all there is to it. Alright guys, so that's it. I do hope you enjoyed. I know it was a lot more talking than it was action, but again, I just wanted to give you my thoughts on stuff, and at the same time show you for a fact that Magnus is not perfect, and it can be defeated. Okay? And I probably did not even need an Orion to do it. although the range of the military launcher does help a lot. And before we fly off into the sunset, let's get back into my baby, and we'll start to fly, shall we? And she's heading back to base. There she is. This is Justin Pontarelli, flying the Avenger, signing off and saying, guys, till next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Take care.